There's three things in life that are guaranteed. That'll be life and death. And hard as hell math lessons. So today, we're teaching y'all about the Pythagorean theorem and the inequalities of line segments and angles. But my friend Christoph will explain that other lesson later, while I'm going to be explaining the Pythagorean theorem to that underly educated brain of yours so you could understand it fully. I'm gonna have to start off simple by telling you what a right triangle is. A right triangle is a triangle with exactly one angle that is 90 degrees. The vertex of a right triangle is labeled with the capital C, while the other vertices are labeled with the capital A and B. These lowercase letters that you see are supposed to represent the length of a right triangle. The side labeled lowercase c is called the hypotenuse, which is considered to be the longest side of a right triangle. Letters lowercase a and b are called the legs, and they're nothing special. They're just there for support because it's a triangle. What do you think, you freaking donut? In a right triangle, if you square the two shorter sides and add them, you get the square of the hypotenuse. This can be used to find the unknown third side of a right triangle when two sides are known. And if you're wondering, can I use this on a different triangle, bro? Then you are considered a vegetable at this point because this formula is supposed to be for the Pythagorean theorem! Yeah, anyway, after that crash out, I'm gonna tell you what the formula is. The usual formula of the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So you better remember that if your teacher asks you to solve a right triangle. There are more variations to this like c squared minus a squared equals b squared and c squared minus b squared equals a squared in order to find the length of a and b. Now I'm going to give you an example of the Pythagorean theorem. Let's say we have a is 5 and b is 12. So it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 5 will be a and 12 will be b. So our equation looks like this now. 5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. Next, we gotta square letter a and b by using that small little tool that you have on your calculator. So 5 will turn into 25 and 12 will become 144. Then we just add those together and the sum will be 169. And if you don't even know what a sum is, then you won't have a son in the future. Trust me, bro. But 169 isn't our final answer. All we have to do is use a radical sign on the 169 that we have, and that turns into 13 because 13 squared is 169. And then that will be the end of my lesson. So I hope you understood that well, cause I am not repeating everything that I said at the start, the middle, the finish. I'm not repeating all that, cause you guys are freaking stupid. I don't know, you guys are freaking degenerates of this generation, and I don't know what else to say, bro.
Okay, so anyway, next is inequalities, and inequalities are mathematical expressions used to compare two values instead of showing that they are equal. Unlike equations, which use an equal sign to show balance, inequalities use symbols such as this Pac-Man looking thing that means greater than and the one looking at the right means less than. Then this kind of uses things with these signs that has a line under them that means equal to. For example, 3 less than 5 means that 3 is less than 5. Well, 5 greater than 3 means 5 is greater than or equal to 3. Inequalities are important because they describe a range of possible values, not just one exact answer. They can also be represented on a number line to show all numbers that satisfy the inequality. Beyond the classroom, inequalities are used in real life every day. For instance, a speed limit can be written as speed equal to or less than 65 miles per hour. A savings goal as money less than or equal to $100, or a height restriction for a ride as height greater than or equal to 120 centimeters. By understanding inequalities, we can make comparisons, helping us reason about quantities and make informed decisions in both mathematics and everyday situations. For easier stuff, Pac-Man's supposed to be looking at the highest number to be right inequality, and inequalities represent a range of possible values rather than a single answer, showing that one quantity can be greater than, less than, or equal to another.
Alright, listen up. Gonna be making quick gags, quick jokes. If you're not quick, you're gone. Because I'm here to summarize everything what Bonn and Christoph said. First off, the Pythagorean theorem. A right triangle has 190 degrees angle. The longest side, which is labeled C, is called the hypotenuse, and the other two are legs, which is labeled A and B, just trying their best. The formula goes like this: a squared plus b squared is equals to c squared. Remember that, or Pythagoras will haunt you in your sleep. If the hypotenuse is what's missing, plug in the two shorter sides, square them, add, then need the square root at the end. Example: a is equals to 5 and b is equals to 12. 5 squared is equals to 25, 12 squared is equals to 144, add 169, and square root it, and you get 13. If you can't press the square root button properly, I don't know, man, just pray. And no, you can't use this on random triangles unless you want to fight your math teacher after class. Now on to inequalities, aka math's version of flexing. We use these pointy symbols for this. The pointy thing facing the right means greater than, and if it's facing left means less than. Slap a line under them and they allow equality too. Inequalities tell us a range of possible answers, not just one boring number. Like if x is greater than 2, x could be 3, 4, 69, or even 2.000000001. They show up in real life too. Speed limits, your height when you want to ride a roller coaster, and your savings goal. But if you multiply or divide by a negative number, don't forget to flip the sign or math police will arrest you. And don't forget the fourth property of inequalities, addition property. If A is less than B, then adding the same number keeps the inequality true. Math is still mathing. Subtraction property. Same thing but subtracting. Transitive property. If A is less than B and B is less than C, then A is less than C. Simple logic unless you're bad at logic. Now to trichotomy property. Only three options: A less than B, A is equals to B, or A is greater than B. Pick one. Don't be greedy. And that's it. You just survived another math lesson. Congratulations, 10 XP to your brain cells. If you still don't get it after this, just blame the triangle. Alright, that's it for today's video. See you next time.